Hey pro coaches, it's Tony here, and over the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to unlock something that changes the way you lead, coach, market, and relate to every human being in your world. I'm not here to give you another tip, another tactic, or another tool. I'm here to give you a lens, keyword lens, because when your lenses upgrade, your entire reality upgrades. Let me put it to you this way. Have you ever tried to help someone who just couldn't hear you? You gave them great coaching and the perfect advice. You said all the right things and yet just nothing landed. Or maybe you've written content, launched offers, led your team, only to feel like you're always pushing a boulder uphill. It's not that you're broken and it's not that they don't care. It's that you're speaking from your reality to someone in a completely different one. When I first discovered Spynamics, I realized I had been trying to lead people I didn't fully understand. I had clients who said yes but ghosted. My relationship was shut down emotionally. I had teams that wouldn't follow through, and no amount of strategy, mindset, or motivation could fix that. Because the truth is, it wasn't about doing more, it was about seeing deeper. And that's what we're going to explore together today, because once you see what I'm about to show you, you'll never coach, sell, parent, or partner the same way ever again. This isn't about learning a new skill, it's about learning a new way to see. If you've ever wondered why some clients resist you, why your message works for one person and completely misses another, why your team doesn't follow through, why your partner hears something you never said, or why success still doesn't feel enough, then what I'm about to share will change the way you lead, coach, and connect forever. There's a reason everything you've tried, the strategy, psychology, personality types, only gets you so far. It's because you've been running a business, leading a team, or building a relationship without a map. Hear me when I say this, Spynamics isn't just another framework. This is the operating system of human behavior, and it's been hiding in plain sight. The story begins long before any of us were building brands or coaching clients. It begins in a university lecture room in New York with a professor named Dr. Claire W. Graves. Not a best-selling author, not a public speaker, quite academic, obsessed with one inconvenient question. What makes a human being truly mature? He wasn't satisfied with the psychological theories of the day. Maslow's hierarchy felt too clean. Freud's views were too narrow. Personality tests offered labels, but not growth. And so Graves did what most people in the modern world refuse to do. He listened. For over 2 decades, he studied thousands of people, young and old, corporate CEOs, indigenous tribes, artists, engineers, mothers, politicians. He ran interviews, project tests, group experiments, and what emerged from that chaos was a pattern. Not everyone sees the world the same way. But more than that, we don't just think differently, we value differently, we love differently, we suffer differently, we evolve differently. As Graves put it, the psychology of the mature human being is an unfolding, emergent process marked by waves of thinking, being, and behaving, each more complex than the last. These waves of being weren't random. They emerged in predictable layers. Each time a person's life conditions changed, internally or externally, a new stage of development had the potential to awaken. And each stage brought with it a new set of priorities, a new definition of success, a new way of processing fear, truth, and power. It was like watching consciousness climb a spiral staircase, and that staircase was about to be given color. Dr. Claire Graves never set out to create a movement. He passed away in 1986, long before his work would shake the worlds of the coaching world, the leadership world, or global politics. But 2 men picked up the torch, Dr. Don Beck and Christopher Cohen. Both psychologists, both systems thinkers, took Graves' unpublished research, notes, and field observations and did what no one else had. They turned it into a working, living model of human evolution. And they called it Spynamics. It was bold, it was colorful, it was complex, but usable. Each stage of human development was assigned a color, not to label people, but to represent an entire value system. Beige, purple, red, blue, orange, green. Each stage building upon the last, like a spiral staircase of consciousness, where every level makes sense, even when it drives you crazy. Beck and Cohen made the model teachable. They used it in South Africa during the post-apartheid transition. They brought it into boardrooms, classrooms, prisons, and governments. What they proved was this: the spiral is real. It's working everywhere humans are. And when you understand it, you can influence without manipulation, love without losing yourself, and lead without resistance. But here's the part no one tells you. The spiral isn't about boxes. It's about breakthroughs. And once you see the code, you can never unsee it. Why this changes everything. That pattern you've always felt but couldn't name, you've felt it, haven't you? That moment when something should work but doesn't. When a client resists what they ask for. When your partner shuts down mid-conversation. When a team member nods but they don't follow through. You feel it in your body, something's off, and you can't quite explain it. But you know it's real. You know what I mean, right? And so you probably do what high performers do. You tweak the script, or you reformat the funnel, you rework it. Maybe next time you're in conversation, you change your tone, or you change your boundaries or your energy. But what if the problem wasn't in your delivery? What if it was in your assumptions? Because here's the truth. Not everyone sees the world like you. Not everyone defines success like you. Not everyone is driven by the same fuel. You're trying to move someone who's living in a different paradigm, a different operating system. Spiral Dynamics gives language to what you've always sensed, but could never quite articulate. It explains why logic lands with some people, why vulnerability triggers others, why rules bring comfort to some and feel like a cage to others. It explains why you have evolved the way you have, and why parts of your past no longer make sense. Because as your life conditions change, so do you. This is the missing link between psychology and personal growth, between influence and integrity, between being effective and being understood. Allow me to give you a tour through the colors of influence. Imagine human consciousness like a spiral staircase. Each step upward, a new level of thinking. Each level, a new set of beliefs, values, and a way of solving problems. Not better or worse, just more complex and inclusive. Let's take a quick walk through the spiral, beginning with beige. Survival, the beginning, instinctual, pre-verbal. Life is about food, safety, warmth. No self, no story, just the raw will to survive. Purple, safety in the tribe. The world becomes mystical, spirits, ancestors, rituals. Protection comes from belonging, from obeying the ways of the elders. Loyalty matters more than logic. The tribe is everything. Red, power and control. Raw energy bursts through, ego awakens. The world is dangerous, so you take what you can when you can. Strength is respected, weakness is punished, rules are made to be broken. Blue, order and obedience. Chaos is tamed by structure. Rules bring safety. Purpose is found in duty, discipline, and divine order. Right or wrong are clear. The future is earned through sacrifice and faith. Orange, achievement and autonomy. The individual awakens. Success becomes measurable. The world is a game, and you play to win. Science, reason, and results reign. Progress is king. Personal freedom is sacred. Green, connection and equality. After the climb, compassion. Feelings matter. All voices count. Green seeks harmony, belonging, and healing. The mission is to end exclusion and honor the collective. No one gets left behind. Yellow, integration and flexibility. Systems thinking emerges. Complexity is embraced. No ego, no agenda, just the elegant dance of what works. Yellow sees the whole spiral, adapts without force, leads without needing to be followed. These aren't personality types, they're value systems. Each one shaping how a person leads, learns, loves, makes decisions, handles conflicts, and defines what it means to grow. And here's the kicker. You've got all of them inside you. One stage runs the show. That's your center of gravity. And when you discover it, You gain predictive clarity on how you operate and how to evolve. Your spiral center of gravity and why it secretly runs your life. Every human being has a home base on the spiral. One stage that feels most natural, most familiar, most right. That's your center of gravity. The lens you see life through. It's not fixed, it can grow, but it shapes everything in your world. It shapes the way you make decisions, what you trust, how you deal with failure, what you avoid at all costs, what you define as success. I'm not going to talk too much about Carl Jung right now, and you should know that you project your center onto others without realizing it. Meaning if you're orange, you expect people to care about your results. If you're green, you assume people value connection over control. If you're blue, you believe people should follow the system. If you're red, you think there's strength in truth. But when your values don't match theirs, you get friction, confusion, pushback that doesn't make sense. That's not failure, that's mismatch. And until you learn how to recognize, read, and calibrate to other people's stages, you'll keep doing the right thing for the wrong mind. Really think about that for a second. Just like let that simmer in. Because coaching a green client with orange hustle breaks trust. Pitching red with green harmony gets you walked over. Leading blue with yellow abstraction causes anxiety. Trying to heal blue rules with red rebellion, explosive. Spynamics gives you the clarity to lead without resistance and love without misfire. Why people get stuck and what Spynamics reveals about breakthroughs. If you've ever wondered why smart, talented, driven people stay stuck, why they self-sabotage, why they repeat the same patterns in their relationships, why they know what to do but still don't do it, let me share this with you. It's not mindset, it's not willpower, it's not sabotage, it isn't any of those things. They're all misdiagnosed. It's stage conflict. Because here's what most coaches miss. You can't force someone to solve a green problem with red tools. You can't motivate orange behavior when their center is still blue. Most people are trapped in a value system that no longer fits in their life conditions. They're outgrowing their old worldview, but they haven't fully stepped into the new one. That's where anxiety lives. That's where breakdown happens. We call it a fracture point. And the only way through isn't more action. It's not more journaling or content. It's not even accountability. It's evolution. Because until someone updates their operating system, no amount of surface level change will stick. And who's getting this, by the way? And listen, I know that this is a recording, but light it up in the chat screen for me. If you're beginning to see why you really came here, and just type it into the chat, do that. You can hustle all you want at orange. But if your subconscious still lives in blue shame or red rebellion, your breakthrough will always be followed by breakdown. And maybe you've experienced this. I always say that there's a difference between breakthrough and breaking through. That's what Spiral reveals. It shows you where people are stuck, why they are stuck, and what needs to shift internally for growth to happen naturally. This is the difference between transformation and performance. One burns you out and the other, it sets you free. How Spiral changes everything. Coaching, marketing, leadership, love. Because this model doesn't just sound good, it works everywhere humans show up. In coaching, Spiral ends the guesswork. You stop pushing tools on people who aren't ready for them. You know whether your client needs structure or sovereignty, accountability or empathy. You speak to their stage and they finally move. In marketing, Spiral stops the copy confusion. No more wondering one audience loves your funnel, loves your content, and the other totally ignores it. You learn to message across stages from red urgency to orange ROI to green community. You influence with precision, not persuasion. In leadership, Spiral upgrades your culture. You stop trying to make people fit your values. Instead, you meet them where they are and elevate them naturally. You build buy-in from the inside out. In relationships, spiral brings clarity where chaos used to live. You stop arguing over symptoms and start healing the stage mismatch beneath them. You finally understand why some partners feel controlling, why others shut down, why you feel unseen, or why they feel smothered. Spynamics doesn't give you more tools. It gives you the map that makes every other tool finally make sense. And that's so important. I'm going to say it again, just so you can take note of it if you like. Spiral Dynamics doesn't give you more tools. It gives you the map that makes every other tool finally make sense. And once you see that, you'll never waste another dollar on the wrong strategy. You'll never lose another client because you couldn't read their stage. You'll never have to guess who someone is ever again. You'll just know and act accordingly. The problem with traditional development models and why Spiral replaces them, like, let's be honest, most of the models out there, they're too flat, too fluffy, or too focused on either who you are or what you do, but not how you evolve. You've got personality tests that label, they label you, but they don't grow you. Archetypes that they sound poetic, but they don't predict behavior. Leadership models that assume everyone responds the same way. Coaching methods that try to force breakthroughs without context. And they're not wrong, they're just incomplete, because without a way to track where someone is in their development, you're building a strategy on sand. Spynamics solves that. It doesn't just tell you who someone is, it tells you what they value, what they fear, what they need to hear to say yes, how to help them evolve without force or judgment. It explains why your team resists certain projects, why your clients ghost at key moments, why your partner reacts the way they do, why you sabotage yourself right after you succeed. You know what I mean, right? This isn't about another label. It's not about a statistic chart or a nice idea. It's living. It's a living, breathing map of human evolution. And in today's world of chaos, and content overload and identity confusion, you don't need another box to fit into. You need a way out. That's what Spiral gives you. That's why I teach it the way no one else does. It's why I published my book, Colors of Influence. Because look, you could try to study Spiral on your own. You could read all the original texts and watch the hundreds of hours of academic lectures and try to interpret the psychology on a whiteboard. But I'll tell you what I discovered after doing all of that. Most of it was designed for scholars, not coaches. Most of it was fascinating and hugely intriguing, but really hard to apply. Most of it made sense intellectually, but it didn't create change. And so I made this decision. I wouldn't just teach Spiral Dynamics, I would translate it. I'd embody it. I'd show people how to live it in their business, in their marriage, and their leadership. That's why I built Pro Coach Masters. That's what Pro Coach Masters is for. I built it for those who want the how on being the architect of their life. This isn't just another coaching certification. It's not about stacking tools or adding letters after your name. It's not that. It's about becoming the kind of coach, parent, leader, and human who understands people better than they understand themselves. And Colors of Influence, Spiral Dynamics, is the only way. Inside Pro Coach Masters, I teach Spiral in a way that's simple enough to use in a DM conversation, deep enough to guide generational transformation, sharp enough to unlock the exact messaging, offer, or decision you need right now. You won't just learn the model, you'll learn how to use it in coaching, influence and sales, in marriage, in moments that matter. Because if you're anything like me, you don't just want more theory, you want mastery. And that's exactly what we'll build together. Now, what happens when you see the spiral in yourself, in others, in everything? The moment you truly see the spiral, you can't unsee it. You'll walk into a conversation and you'll know why someone feels stuck. You'll read a piece of content and instantly spot, well, that's this color. You'll see the color code. You'll sense what your client, your partner, your child really needs, not based on what they say, but based on how they see. You'll stop pushing tools that don't land. You'll stop reacting to behavior you don't understand. You'll stop personalizing resistance that was never about you. Instead, you'll lead people through resistance because you'll know what it's protecting. You'll speak to someone's value system and you'll watch the light bulb go off. You'll coach the stage underneath the story and create breakthroughs like faster than ever before. You'll finally understand why you do what you do, why others don't, and how to bridge the gap without drama, burnout, or force. It's clarity, it's power, it's compassion, it's leverage. And once you've felt it, I mean, you'll never settle for another model. Like, you'll never settle for another model ever again. You'll see the world in color. You'll coach with precision. You'll lead with grace. You'll speak fluently in a language of human evolution. This is your next evolution. Every once in a while, you find something that doesn't just make sense. It makes sense of everything else. That's what Spynamics is. That's what it was for me, and that's what it'll be for you. If you ever felt like you know too much, but you just can't explain it, you feel patterns that others can't see, you crave mastery, not just motivation, you're past the hype, and you'll know if you are, you're done forcing clients, carrying teams, or over-explaining yourself. You're not broken. You're just ready. Ready to stop reacting to resistance and start decoding it. Ready to lead with clarity, not control. Ready to coach at the level of transformation, not performance. And I trust you're gaining a sense for why I've dedicated 2 full days of this work inside Pro Coach Masters, because this isn't another course. It's not more information. It's precision, it's evolution, it's integration, and it's waiting for you. I'll see you on the inside.